Well, good morning, folks. We have a lovely sunny day. It's a little bit chilly out there. It is October after all. But just before the boat goes away, I want to share something with you. Somebody asked me, I'm sorry if I forgot who you are. I thought it was on Facebook. It may have been on the channel here, but somebody had asked me, inquired about our TV and how we have it mounted here on the boat, which, as you can see, it's mounted on that bulkhead at the back, and which works absolutely perfectly for us. And the question that I got was, how are the wires run to it and how is it mounted? So I'm going to show you that now. Yeah, so pardon the mess, as it is the end of the season. I'm already starting to put stuff away. But like I said, I just wanted to share with you how this works. Now this 1998 Sea Ray 330 Sundancer initially came with, I'm just going to turn this around here, a television up in here, factory installed, and it was probably a 13-inch combination DVD player, and it was actually on a track that slid out, and then you could position the TV so you could watch it in bed or watch it from the salon. But that has long since disappeared. And we got a little basket up there now. We keep the booze bottles and chips and cheesies and stuff like that there. And when we bought the boat, there was a small TV up there. It was a 19-inch, I think, a Samsung. So half the hard work was already done for us because we upgraded to a 32-inch. This is a Samsung Smart TV, which just means it has a built-in Roku player, so we can do streaming stuff. And I'm going to get to that in a second. So anyways, it is mounted on this bulkhead. And as I mentioned, we were lucky enough, I was lucky enough, that this mount was already fastened to the wall. As you can see, somebody produced a nice little wedge to keep it more or less plumb that side. And then this, you know, can spin around as need be. It's a little stiff right now because I have it kind of tight just so it doesn't bounce around when we're underway, which it doesn't. And it generally stays in that spot, and it actually works perfectly because when the TV's on, I'll sit here at the in the salon on the couch, and I get a perfect view of the TV. And it's awesome. Anchor girl generally just lies up in bed, and if she wants to watch TV, then that's that. So it's nice, it's neat, it's clean, it's very accessible from pretty much everywhere in the cabin of the boat. As I just slide back, you know, looking from the bed, that's what it looks like. Works well. Yeah, it's nice, neat, it's out of the way. And just to answer the other question as to how the wires are run, you can see they're coming through the wall there. Well, let me start here. The power supply is back here in the aft cabin. There's a receptacle down here. So what Buddy did was, because I think I used this just the same plug, because we went from a smaller Samsung to the larger Samsung, so everything was the same. And that just runs through a hole that somebody drilled through the cabinet, and then that goes into this cabinet here, and it's brought in through the bottom, and then he took it up here and ran it up inside. I don't know if you can see that very well. And there's a whole bunch of wires because there's a cable TV, which we don't use. There's this is the power supply. That is, I believe, going to the stereo head. And then this is for a Wi-Fi cable amplifier thing that I've never used. And I'll get to that in a minute too. So anyways, and then he just took it through that back cabinet in behind there. Yeah, so that just comes out underneath. The helm is right in behind here. I'll just open the door. It's going to get really bright here for a second. And so that is that bulkhead here. So the wires just running behind there. Once the VHF is out, there is access to it, so he just ran it around behind and through. I'm just going to close that door again quickly so it's not overly bright. And then the wire, like I say, comes out back here. So there is also an HDMI cable that the previous install had with it, and then the cable TV. both of which are hooked to the TV, but both of which are not ever used by us because we don't use wired devices. Yeah, like I say, we don't have anything plugged into the HDMI or the cable TV. It's not hooked up here from the boat out to shore, which we could do if we want to pay extra for cable TV, but we have not had cable TV at our home for, I think, about 6 years because it's crap. It's mind-blowing just to watch television with non-stop repetitive commercials. Drives me around the bend. So for that reason, we got rid of cable TV many years ago, and at home as well as in the boat we watch streaming services such as Netflix and of course YouTube. So how do we access that in the boat? Well, I mentioned that there's a Wi-Fi booster, but I'm going to tell you nothing. I've never in my life, neither will I ever use a public Wi-Fi service, simply because they are highly insecure. Insecure. I mean, I should say unsecure. They're not secure. Anybody who has a little bit of wherewithal can hack into your devices. If you're on a public Wi-Fi, look it up. It's easy enough to do. So what we do for an extra added level of security is I create a hotspot with the phone. This thing's already set up for that, and then I will stream our services using the hotspot, which is using, of course, cellular data from the phone. That's okay, because we have a very robust data package on the phone, which Anchor Girl and I share between our phones. So we can watch, streaming Netflix or YouTube or whatever we want on the big screen anywhere that we have cell phone access, and except for a few spots far away, like we were traveling this summer, the cell service wasn't very strong, but then again, when we're away traveling, we don't watch the TV too much anyway. So if we want to see something, want to stay connected, we can just do it on our phones. If the cell service is not very good, we just don't do it. So anyways, that's it. That's a very simple setup for that. Of course, if you wanted to use cable TV on your boat, if you had a similar setup like this, of course you would just run that. There is a cable TV jack right down there. I don't know if you notice it when I was showing you the plug, and that is then plumbed on this boat out to the side next to the shore power connections, and then from there I would actually physically have to hook up a cable TV coax wire from there to wherever there's a cable TV hookup on the hydro on the power pedestals here. We have that, but again, we would have to pay for an extra subscription because that's not included in the marina fee. So again, we have no use for it. Same thing with the HDMI. That's old technology. That would be if you wanted to hook up a DVD player or something like that, or a Blu-ray player into the TV, and I mean that would work as well. This thing is also equipped with a USB outlet, so if you had video files on your computer, you can just plug it into there and watch it with that as well. But for the most part, we just use streaming services like, say, Netflix and YouTube. YouTube is my favorite, and for obvious reasons. So anyways, I hope you found that helpful and informative, and again, I apologize to forgetting who you were, but hopefully you watched this and that was helpful for you. So that's it for today. Look down at my How I Did It playlist. I'm going to include this into that playlist for all sorts of other projects and neat little insights like that for the boat. For today, that's it. Cheers, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.